Hey everyone, Coops here from the whole Box and Dice. Dragon Ball Super 2nd edition draft boxes are now out. I thought we'd bring back a fan favourite and certainly a video series that I have a lot of fun with. It's called Can We Flip It? We're going to look at taking one of these draft box cases. There are 4 boxes in here, so I'm going to break this video series down into 4 parts. Going to be doing a box by box Can We Flip It into an overall case. We are very lucky to be able to get a case of these for $500 is our total cost, so we're looking at $125 a box for one of the draft boxes, which I think is pretty good value given that you're going to get a set of leaders in each draft box, plus you're also going to get that promo card. I love that it's a Tournament 3 promo and not a Tournament 2, because there's not a lot of value in the T2 stuff, but definitely there's some value in Tournament 3. You know, you've got Broly at the moment, that's pretty hot. You've got Fu, which I think is going to be relevant in a lot of decks. There are the 4 of them now. Love the artwork on this. Saw someone asking for a playmat with this artwork. I think that would look absolutely ace. Hopefully we get some pretty awesome stuff. Set 2 still has a lot of value if we just look at kind of the dollar-wise. You know, you've got Jiren, you've got Gohan, you've got Cell, you obviously have Kale. You know, the price of that stuff is just absolutely insane at the moment. I certainly didn't think that the Kales and the Veggie package would be going for so much. I get it, it's a pretty easy line to play. Definitely surprised that they're worth so much money, so hopefully you've picked up your play sets. There are definitely better decks out there that can beat those lines, but it is pretty solid, and green is a very good color. Tournament Power looks like it's kind of taken a little bit away from green, but it looks like there's enough just in set 2 and set 3 to kind of keep carrying that forward. We'll obviously we'll get 4 of each of the draft leaders. I think probably the easiest thing to do with like draft leaders is we'll just add $40 on to each. So overall, I don't think it actually will be too hard to get the draft boxes, but if you're picking up for a little bit more than 125, around about the 150, 160 mark, then it might, it should be pretty interesting to see. So you can kind of use this as a bit of a guide. We're going to get Goku here, so we'll get all 4 draft leaders unless our case is super whack, and we'll open that tournament pack at the end there. Got a set of rules. I don't think there'll be probably anything too exciting in this. I do actually wonder if they have a specified order for how they want you to draft these, because set 2 is really bad. Like, as a draft set, set 2 is a very misleading draft set. It's like very easy to get stuck into a bad color. I think you draft set 3 first, just because set 2 is just like if you get something nice, you can add on top of it. You know, the big bombs, you can't rely on them in draft. You do have some interesting things like the cell chain, which gets a little bit of support in set 3 as well in terms of the androids, but once again, you need to be drawing rares. So, I'm just looking through the rules. Nothing. Nah, it doesn't say. It doesn't say which one you have to go first. Just a standard 41 card deck, which is 40 battle and extra cards plus your leader card. Just for all the confusion out there, you don't draft the leader that you get in the draft box. It's like a little extra prize for playing the draft game. Most people encourage rare redraft at the end, and if you don't know what that means, you crack all the boosters open, obviously, whilst you're drafting. You put all the rares, the SRs, SCRs, etc. out, and whoever won gets to start off. And we'll jump straight into it, though. Barbody's going to be our first pack. Have they actually errated it? No, they haven't. Awesome. Okay. Would be nice if they at least included an errated printing, but I guess these are just the straight Union Force packs. And we're going to start off with a Vegito. Just as a point of reference for everyone, we need the cards to be $2 each minimum in value to count. So I think there'll be a lot of foils and obviously a lot of the rares that just simply won't cut it. There's probably, sadly, even some SRs that don't register $2. I'm sure the Vegeta will be exactly one of them. Cards like that, though, ironically, are super strong for draft. Like a 4-drop 25k is well above what you would normally expect to get. So cards like that are pretty strong first picks. Obviously, leaders not so good. I do love the Tournament Power. Looks like they've moved away from rare leaders. That is a definite feel-good for myself. Hate seeing leaders. It's easy to get one of every single one. I don't think that's going to hurt the game in any way, shape, or form. Pack 3. Oh, there we go. We get a Kale. So pretty much the money card of set 2, and that's going to go a long way into helping us out. So Kale, Vegeta might be worth about $5. So with the draft leaders. We're already in a really good spot for this box, and obviously not every box is going to have a Kale. Some are going to be filled with full power Vegetas, and that's going to make you sad. But if you crack a Kale, you're definitely on your way to some good value there. We're going to get all the prices. I'll probably use a combo of like TCG Player and Cool Stuff Inc. is normally where I do a lot of my pricing based on. So if I'll, have a look, sometimes prices are a little bit different between the two, so I'll be able to take a common sense average there. There's a Infinite Force Zamasu. Very interesting card. Cards like that are very difficult to pull off in draft, but if you do manage to get some of the right archetype pieces, it can be a heck of a finisher. Cards with Triple Strike, for example, they're normally huge in a draft. There's the Cell. Cell's actually gone up a little bit in price recently. Once kind of Mecha fell away, decks that want to fill their hands up with cards. Cell is a pretty natural predator to those kind of archetypes, and if you don't have Bloodlust, it can be very annoying. Actually, I'm doing a video on I think I've mentioned this for like a couple of weeks now. I have to just get around to doing it. I've got Dominaria pre-release for Magic on this coming weekend. I'll be doing a video on the Mirror deck. Cooler. I'm sure Cooler is like an SR that's not even worth $2. We're doing a video on the Mirror deck with the Cell Chain. Is just absolutely nuts. You get to use the Mirror Leader, so you get the benefits of a OR deck as well, so you get to run some great Overrealm stuff in there, which certainly helps. And there's some very interesting lines in that deck. And what I like about that deck is, and the sideboard is something that I'm always tuning and always working on, but I think you can probably change the deck. You can side out the Cell Chain into a very aggro critical build. This is where I guess being able to change leaders would be massively relevant. You'd be able to put in the Android 17, Android 18 leader from set 2, but obviously not in the rules, so won't be able to do that. But that's the end of our set 2 stuff, and Bardock set excellence. Just like you never want to start with like a leader, and that's why I'm so pumped to not see the leaders anymore in the rare slot. But we can get some foils in set 3, which is cool, so we know Bardock is coming up. Striker Bardock into Bardock, some Poetic Justice there. I think we're doing pretty well value-wise. Anytime you get a Kale is going to be is pretty solid, but it's very easy to pick up some extra dollars in the foil slot, just as we open one there. But we have another Pan. Back-to-back leaders, come on. Don't just give us a Kale and nothing else good. I had a look at the RRP. I think they're about 165 over here in Australia, so I think we'd probably be at about $80 I think at the moment, maybe a bit less, maybe 75. But that looks like a Hyper Rush Vegito at the back there, so that should be worth about $5 as well. So it's not too hard to get the dollars creeping up there, but obviously we're not just cracking these to show the financial value. They are supposed to be drafted normally, but just dropped out of focus. But often there is a lot of value in products like this, depending on the price that you can pick them up for. The fact that the leader playset should sell for about $40 in the first couple of weeks, plus you get the guaranteed promo. And interesting thing to note that whatever the first promo is, the rest of the promos are going to be of that same. There's the Mana Rockin' foil with the Mirror Leader. So if you do open a foil promo, the other 3 in the case will also all be foils. Then that obviously unfortunately goes for non-foil as well, which is a little bit annoying, but whatever. I assume they're just breaking up like the tournament packs. We get a Android 13 there. Hopefully that's worth a couple of bucks still. So I think they just like split what they put into the tournament kits, which by the way are super mapped as well. It's not hard to work out where the falls are in that. They literally run in order. So it is. I do wish like they didn't do that, but hopefully your local game store are nice, honest people, and they keep you interested and give you a fair shot at the foils every time, and don't give you out all the non-foils first. So definitely, nice. That's a foil that's going to be worth a couple of bucks, but the rare that is worth jack. Over here in Australia, we're definitely getting a little bit better with the prize support. There's a Boo Leader. We're starting to see definitely more tournament promos, and that's another thing as well. I saw a lot of people buy into set 3 from a wholesale perspective, trying to buy a case over from the US and make good money off it. The reality is that the game is growing, and it's always more money in earlier sets because supply is more limited. Nice Caulifla, that is a that's pretty good to go with the Kale package. That's going to probably make up more than like 50% of what we need anyway. So there's a lot more product being open, there's a lot more players in the game, and when they start moving things, oh nice, Toa and foil is definitely worth a couple of bucks. Why do we get a good foil and the rare is trash behind it? As more people get into the game, and I think this is something that a lot of people have missed just from like a finance perspective, is that more product is going to be opened, and that affects the price. Like set 1 and set 2 to a lesser extent, you know, it's quite easy to make money if you were bringing product in, or even if you were just building up a good collection or buying SRs and stuff at a lower point. But we're seeing a lot more stable market now because there is a lot more product, and now you're actually starting to see things like with Rapid Onslaught Goku and with promo cards that are in limited supply, or even SPRs, for example, that were in earlier sets. If players want to get access to this, they are actually starting to creep up in price. So whereas before you were picking up, you know, SPRs for pretty cheap over here in Australia, they're starting to rebound a little as people either want cards for their collections or they're new to the game and they never got a chance to open set 1. But let's see if we can bring it home with the foil or non-foil. So remember, if this is a non-foil, the rest of the case is going to be non-foil. So hopefully this one is a foil. We'll do our best to not bend it. I don't know if you've seen people do this, but if you open these packs too aggressively, you bend the promo. Oh, nice. That is a Bardock Will of Iron. This is another interesting one because there is a judge version of this as well, so that does play into the price a little, but pretty sure it's going to be a successful flip. I'll throw the money up on screen if we have successfully managed to do so. Thank you so much for checking this one out. This is going to be part 1 of a 4-part series, so we're going to be doing 3 other videos. We'll do a total cost or total profit made per box into a total profit for the case as well. So check out the 3 other videos. What did you think of these pulls? Would you be happy to draft this one? Are you looking at cracking a draft box just to make some extra dollars on the side? Hopefully the next 3 maybe a little bit better. I feel like we got a Kale, but we didn't get anything super awesome outside of that. So fingers crossed we've got some good stuff on the way. Huge shout out to everyone who's currently jumping on the channel, supporting us. We've had just a massive outpouring of interaction, so keep those likes, comments, and subscribes coming. A massive shout out to everyone helping us out on Patreon as well. If you would like to support the channel so we can do more giveaways, improve our content, and all that good stuff, consider checking us out over there. But my name is Coops. This is the whole box and dice. Hopefully your draft weekends are going awesome. Peace.